I'm doing a story on how like the athletic program, student athletes and coaches on how they feel about all the spring sports ending early. So you get what we're going to talk about here, right?
Yes, yes.
So let's start off. First question: what do you think about the spring season sports events ending early because of the COVID-19?
It was a very difficult time. Uh, Most of our teams had played at least 3 or 4 games. One team had played 14, and each of them were having a really good season. Some of the players had really good stats and had already received some weekly awards. So ending it early was very, very tough and a tough decision to talk to them about, although a needed one, right? It wasn't a Wesley thing. It was a national, worldwide thing, and we had to make that call. The NCAA had to make that call, and while the student athletes were upset, they understood. I mean, it's just hard for seniors. It's really hard for seniors to think of their last season going that way.
So like, yeah, it's just sad, like really sad, like.
I mean, the only good thing that came about from it was the NCAA did give anyone who wants their season back, no questions asked.
Right.
And that was a little relieving, because you do have some athletes that, even though they're done their eligibility, may have an extra semester or so that they can play. So that would give them the opportunity to play that last season.
Was the Wesley athletic program affected badly?
I mean, only in the respect that our student athletes all had to leave. I mean, uh, there was nothing we were going to do to keep them there, to put their health or their safety in jeopardy, or put the health of their family in jeopardy if they didn't get it, but they carried it home. So the athletic department itself is affected in this respect directly by student athletes and their health, their safety, and their commitment. It was hard for committed athletes to now have to take a break. I mean, at first it was, we're going to go away for 2.5 weeks, and then it was the end of it. And I think that the first of going away 2.5 weeks was at least some hope, but once we got a week or so in, we knew that it was going to be difficult to bring anybody back and to even play. I mean, you can't send an athlete home and have them do their workout by themselves when they're on a team sport where they need to pass, they need to catch. So bringing them back early and then having them have to practice more before they competed, that wouldn't have worked either, even if the virus would have been gone. Well, but what can you do? It's a worldwide pandemic. There's not something that was on Wesley's campus. There's not something that was in the state of Delaware at the time, but across the entire country, people were sick, people were dying. Lots of things have been canceled that have never been canceled before. Yeah. I mean, the day that professional athletics stopped, that was probably the biggest eye opener, because the day professional athletics stops, wow, what are you going to do next?
Let's say the COVID-19 never happened. You get what I'm saying? What were you looking forward into the future if like none of that never happened? Like, what were you looking forward into the like athletic program during the spring season?
Absolutely. I was looking forward to each of our spring teams making the playoffs and making the run. I think that's the ultimate goal, is to get yourself in the playoffs, and then anything can happen past that. I think all 4 teams had a shot at getting themselves in the playoffs and hopefully doing something, with that chance and that opportunity to bring home the titles. I truly believe we would have at least 1 or 2 titles coming out of the spring. Mm-hmm. Well, I do believe that, we would have had some major award winners from from the spring teams. And I think that would have been a great opportunity for those young ladies and young men to get something not only for their team, but also individually.
What do you suggest the athletes do during the quarantine to get in shape? Like, what activities do you suggest that the athletes do since they are on quarantine and stuff, like all the spring athletes?
Well, actually, I think it's for everybody because, for the most part, March and April would have been non-traditionals for all the fall athletes too. So what we did for field hockey, I mean, as the AD, I'm also still the coach. So for field hockey, we've gotten them online with one of the training programs that's online, and they're doing those. We've also sent them out running activities because a lot of your training programs online are in front of a TV, in front of a video, and you're kind of doing it along with them. But we've given them running activities. We've given them field hockey activities. We've also given them competition. So the first week it was a competition for the most push-ups in a time frame. And then this past week it was the most air squats, consecutive air squats without a break. So we're trying to keep them motivated by giving them activities to do and competitions they can do with their teams. In terms of what I would recommend to all athletes, first and foremost, safety. Make sure that you're not in a pack of people that you could be contracting the virus from, that you're keeping your social distance, and that you're working out however you need to, whether it's sprints or long distance runs or shooting baskets or, anything that keeps your feet and your hands moving and touching your equipment with, by making passes, whether it's off of a wall or with a partner. I believe that there's a lot that can be done to keep yourself physically fit and keep yourself physically going, because that's the hardest part about right now, is that a lot of them feel they've got to be in their house, but there's a lot of things you can do outside. You just can't do it with a group of people. Okay? And we've had some pretty good weather.